Welcome to Game Day Review. Got my man Craig Jenkins, Morgan Smith. We have a couple mods over here with us. Brandon Loris, Frank Sides. It's going to be a good show today. But we had some great basketball last night. Great high school basketball. It was round 1 for the boys, round 2 for the girls. And a rough night for some, great night for others.
It was a lot of close basketball games.
Really low scores, too.
Yeah, low scoring, really close games.
Yeah.
And some teams went home that you really didn't want to see go home this early.
PG girls came away with the win. They played a doubleheader down in Marshall. Girls played first. The varsity boys played right after that. PG girls won 46-43 over Bullard.
A close game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these games are close. Let's jump to the PG boys. PG boys went into overtime last night. I think it was 56-56. Went into overtime. Ended up losing to Chapel Hill 66-63.
In those close games like that, you feel like Pleasant Grove was kind of tested because they played a number of close games this year, but I see they weren't able to pull it out.
Yeah,
well, hats off to them, though.
Oh, yeah, great season, a bunch of great athletes, and I'm sure they are in football training right now as we speak, probably. I tell you what was a great game, though. Did you see the end of that Texas High game?
I did.
They played Marshall. C.J. Kelly put it in right there at the end, go up 57-55. And then on the defensive end, coming away with the big rebound to kind of seal it.
Like I said last week, as the season's progressing, he's getting better and better at the right time, and it paid off last night. Last night.
They'll be playing the number 1 ranked team in the state, I believe, Friday. We're still not sure where that's going to be at. I think it's Lancaster, if I'm not mistaken. LE took a really tough loss last night. They were up. It was like kind of back and forth. They played Kilgore down in Hallsville. Low score, 39-42.
Do you think it was maybe they had an off night? Because out of all the teams, I really thought LE had one of the most well-rounded teams as far as height and inside presence and outside shooter.
I agree. It was obviously a defensive ball game. You know, of course, I wasn't there, but you know, they had a great basketball season. That was the one I was kind of surprised to see. So obviously something happened. New Boston played Commerce. Commerce took that one. Hook's got to win first round. They're going to round 2. They played Winsboro 59-47.
Good deal for Hooks.
Shout out. I'm sure Benji had a big game.
That's what I was. When I saw the win, I was like, Benji probably had a great game.
Yeah. And Atlanta, no surprise, came away with the win 59-34, but a low-scoring game for them.
I had a lot of people asking about, you know, they weren't sure because they said that UIL was saying it was one date. We had it as a different date as to when the game was, and it was Tuesday, and they were like, we're going to travel to go see Atlanta play down in Pittsburgh because a lot of people still hadn't actually got to see Damian play and his upside potential and his greatness on the court.
I know him and Hunter had 13 points last night. Damian had a double-double as usual, almost a triple-double. Let's move over to some baseball real quick. I got a softball score for you. New Boston won big over James Bowie 17-1. Texas High played North Lamar, didn't come away victorious in that one, and PG defeated Hooks 4-3 in softball. Baseball, and these scores are not from last night. These are from, I believe, Friday night. PG won over Atlanta 5-3. Liberty Ilo shut out Queen City. They invoked the 10-run rule. And Texas High's first game was supposed to be today, but it's been postponed.
For weather?
Yeah, I think it's so soggy out there.
One thing I can say about East Texas in this area right here, there's been a lot of baseball players recruited from this area, and the players that are playing nowadays, it's going to be the same thing. There'll be some kids that you'll see playing baseball this year that are just some phenomenal athletes.
Sure. Soccer, Texas High won 5-0 over Greenville. PG boys won in double overtime.
They've been getting it in late night out there on that soccer field.
That's everything in local sports. Let's talk national.
In national news, just wanted to go ahead, Brandon.
I think you meant 5-0.
Oh, yeah. You know I'm not a soccer fan. Think about it. What you got for national news?
Let's just wrap up, talk real quick about the Tyson Fury fight, whether it played out the way you thought it was going to play out, and then how do you feel about Deontay Wilder saying that the costume kind of wore his legs out in that fight?
I just want to say, I did say Tyson Fury was a better boxer and he could win that fight. I just didn't think he would. But rupturing your eardrum in the first round, throwing your equilibrium off. I mean, he looked drugged. That's the only thing that makes sense is he has a ruptured tendon. Frank's going to claim he didn't.
Oh, he did get drugged, just not in the way that you're referencing.
Whatever.
And he did not bust his eardrum. He just, his ego was broken, his confidence was broken, and he's just outclassed. He's a terrible boxer.
I said on the show that I thought Fury was going to win the fight. I didn't think it would be a knockout. I thought he would outpoint him. He is definitely the better boxer of the two, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just Vegas became a part of the outcome of that fight to set up the trilogy, but there will definitely be a trilogy, and we'll see what that outcome will be.
I can't. I'd rather see Tyson Fury fight Anthony Joshua at this point.
Yeah,
Tyson Fury is one of my favorite boxers. I think he's still one of the most dangerous people with boxing gloves on, but there's really no need to watch the third fight.
I think he's going to exercise it to try to get, because he has that rematch.
Well, he's going to, if he exercises, here's what I think. He's only going to get paid Tyson Fury will take 60, he'll take 40.
Yes.
He'll probably exercise it and then make Tyson Fury buy him out so he makes money for doing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be a third fight. I don't
think at this point there's a reason. I would watch it, but I don't think there's a reason.
With the benefit of hindsight and not being blinded by the how fun it is to watch someone get knocked out. They fought for 19 rounds, and I can't find more than 3 I could give to Wilder. With that being said, I think that Fury takes care of Joshua and just walks away and vacates the belts before he fights Wilder again. Why wouldn't? He's just that kind of dude.
I don't know.
He can't win a decision in America against that guy. He just can't.
As far as the 45-pound things go, I don't know. Like, why on earth would your shorts weigh 45 pounds?
I'm kind of like old school. I like Mike Tyson, a towel with a hole cut in it, and that's what he came to the ring in. Why do you have to have such an elaborate costume? It serves no purpose. I wasn't impressed by it.
I mean, I don't know how that could even play a role in it. But anyway, all right, let's move on. I don't even want to talk about this fight
The second thing I want to talk about is Tony Romo.
Okay.
He's been in negotiations with CBS for this contract. They're saying his contract is expected to top what John Madden was making. John Madden was making $8 million a year. They're expecting Tony Romo to top 10, maybe exceed that by a lot more. In March, he's able to open up his negotiations with ESPN and others, and they're saying they're thinking that's what's going to drive up the cost in that right there. What do you guys think about the amount of money that Tony Romo's going to be able to get?
I'm all for people getting paid. I don't know why he's getting paid that much.
Yeah.
But
are you guys a big
shout
fan
out to
of
him.
Romo calling the game?
He absolutely enhances the viewing experience, unlike any.
I just wish he could have read these defenses this great when he was actually playing quarterback.
For some people, I don't have a problem with Tony Romo calling the game, but for a lot of Cowboy fans, they absolutely hate when Tony Romo calls the game.
Yeah, they say.
From what I've heard, they say he's kind of hard on the Cowboys. I guess that's because he played for them.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to be hard on himself when he was a Cowboy.
Yeah, if you watch the Cowboys, it's difficult to not be hard on them, right?
Yeah, it is rough. All right.
Positive coming out of their last.
We'll move over to the next thing right here. People are calling this guy the modern day Shaq. Anthony Davis says his athleticism is unbelievable. LeBron said he's super explosive, super intelligent. It's Zion Williams. He's averaging 23 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists.
About Luka.
No, in 28 minutes. I just want to know if you guys really think Zion is living up to the hype. I think he's playing exceptionally well. In a league with not much defense, I thought he would be able to do exactly what he's doing. What's you guys' take on that?
I mean, he's a must-watch player. He's exciting to watch. I'm glad he's in the NBA, and I cannot wait for him to be a seasoned vet, man. It's just going to be – he's already nasty.
I just thought for his size and the way he moves, there was no way he would come into the league and not be able to rebound and score.
Oh, yeah.
He's just so quick off the jump. I mean, he's super explosive.
I mean,
like the other
he's in a league
say.
where literally if it's not the fourth quarter, people get out of your way when you're going to the rim. I mean, it's a league made for him. Can he stay healthy?
My take on it is if AD and LeBron said what they said, we might have said different.
Yeah, I think if you were going to draw up a 5 in a lab for the modern game, this would be the guy you draw up. The skill set, the athleticism, the length, and just the strength. He's a perfect center for today's NBA.
What do you think about his outside shot? A lot of people said that his outside shot wasn't that great, but that's one of those things.
If Lonzo Ball shot is in the NBA, anybody could play in the NBA. That's one of the ugliest shots I've ever seen.
I think his outside shot's just going to be icing on that cake. Does he need it? No, but if he develops it, look out.
And they're going to give him wide open shots, so he's going to get all the shots he wants.
While we're on NBA, does Isaiah Thomas get picked up again after being cut?
The small Isaiah Thomas, definitely not the older Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard anything about Isaiah Thomas since he left the Lakers or whatever. When
Brandon, tell us your experience. You got to see him play in person.
Yeah, I went and seen him. Dirk's last year. I went and watched the Mavericks and the Lakers, and he probably played half the game or so, but he just looked like a little kid out there. Like he couldn't hold nobody. All he could do is he could score a little bit. He shot a few threes, and that was it. But like on defense, he's just a liability. There's no reason for him to be out there. He can't hold nobody on the court. I mean, it's just got to be tough for him.
Don't know. He's tiny. His skill set's not really something that teams are looking for these days. He'll probably get picked up, but he won't see a lot of minutes, no floor time really.
I think he may be done, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally serves no purpose on an NBA roster.
Head overseas and throw down like what's his name did. Who's that guy that became a superstar?
Tracy McGrady. He was already a superstar.
Marbury.
He is a superstar in China.
Stephon Marbury. Yeah. Head over there and just throw down.
Oh man, did you have some Starberries?
You can go. No, definitely did not. I was poor, but not that poor. The last thing I want to talk about, I think this is for football fans. This is probably one of the most exciting weeks in football. The NFL Combine is here. I saw that Ohio State's Chase Young is not participating in that event. Do you think players that don't work out in the Combine, that are top players like that, does it affect them in the draft?
Affects him none at all.
No.
None at all.
I hate to say it, but I definitely agree. I mean, what more do you need? He has game tape out there.
Yeah, I mean, first off, they already do their pro day at the school.
Yeah.
Why show up to why Joe Burrow would show up to an NFL Combine is beyond me.
Yeah.
Like there's no point. There's a lot of guys that need to.
There are outright number 1 and 2. It just depends on team needs.
Yeah.
The Combine's really for the second round and lower. Some of the first round ones, yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Deion showed up back in the day for showmanship.
yeah.
I mean, there was no reason Deion
4-1.
Sanders should have been there.
4-1-40.
You know, it was literally just because it was prime time.
All right, so when it comes to the Combine, what's y'all's take on how they put so much into the 40-yard draft? I think these kids train to run the 40-yard dash 1 time or 3 times or whatever to get an average. I think they put too much into it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a running back and you show up and run a 4.7, obviously that matters.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, the 40-yard dash it does matter.
It should
Craig?
just be for skill players.
That cone drill, those things, you know, quickness, agility matters.
It does matter, but you'll see it happen all the time. It's a receiver from out of nowhere that'll pop up in the draft and he'll run a 3.7 40. And this kid will move from unknown all the way up to a first-round pick.
That's a glide leg.
And then he's a bust.
Yeah.
I just think they put too much in. I think they should focus more on game tape.
Now,
If a kid looks fast on a game tape,
Yeah.
I could care less what he runs.
I mean, there's field speed, but they got to match. I mean, you can't take a dude who's slow and he looks fast on film. That's not going to translate to the NFL. I mean, look at prime example. Look at Willie Glideleg. Willie Glideleg ran a 4.1 4.40 in a combine in his backyard, and he went undrafted last year. And the NFL feels so bad for him, they're going to let him participate in the combine again this year.
He'll be back, and he'll definitely go as one of the top picks, and he'll get to choose where he wants to go.
I mean, how does Willie Glideleg run so fast and not get picked up in a draft?
And penny loafers.
Because running a 40, I just said running a 40 does not.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, he was wearing the tights and everything.
Skill players is all it matters for.
Yeah, I think the Combine,
even them, it don't really.
It may swing the other direction, like Craig said, and skew some of the tape that's out there.
Here's the way I look at it.
About 10 years ago, the Raiders, remember Darius Haywood Bay?
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Runs a 4.3, gets drafted in the top 10.
It helped him all right. He got paid
and
for it.
Never even caught a meaningful.
Well, he had horrible quarterbacks.
Here's the thing. Morgan just said that.
I mean,
it doesn't matter. What did you say about watching tape? If a guy looks fast or slow on tape. If a guy looks slow on tape, but he's playing for Alabama and this kid's got 9 interceptions at safety, but he looks slow on tape, you mean to tell me you'll draft a safety from Stephen F. Austin that runs a 4.3 with 2 interceptions?
You didn't say. You're not talking about tangibles. You asked, does the 40 time matter? And I answered, yes, it does matter. You didn't say tangibles as a football player. You asked 40. Let me change it now, Craig.
I'm saying that game tape to me matters more than running a 40 3 times.
Yeah.
There's like 2 positions that the 40 really, 3 positions that the 40 really matters. cornerback, wide receiver, and running back.
And that's not necessarily
Safety.
true.
I mean,
Darrell Revis wasn't the fastest corner ever,
but if he showed up and ran a 4.8, he ain't playing in the NFL.
but he wasn't the fastest.
I'm just saying.
Jerry
I
Rice didn't
mean,
run
there's
fast for us.
in the
Jerry Rice
NFL,
didn't run fast.
you're either
But he had
you're either
games.
Emmitt Smith didn't run fast.
Yeah.
you're either really fast or you're fast.
Yeah.
There is no kind of fast in the NFL.
Yeah, make a
Playing
run.
those three positions.
Make a run the 40. And
I mean,
I'll-
Jerome Bettis was a power back. He's about all that could get away with.
I'll
being
take
slow.
a slower guy with football awareness over a fast
Agility.
guy that's just out there.
and he will name
Any day.
and he will name his team the Cleveland Browns.
No.
Let's
That's not a winning formula. I don't know what to tell you. Speed kills. They've been talking about it forever.
I'll draft off game tape. I would draft off game tape.
Hey, you know who you need to be slow? Your offense and defensive line. They just need to be huge.
Definitely don't need your defensive line to be slow.
Well,
Not
I'm not
anymore.
having this guy draft my fantasy team next year. That's for sure. I'm gonna say, hey, you can only draft people that
we're not
aren't in the
talking
top
fantasy.
that
Hey.
aren't in the top 50% of
And
fastest
this is
people
from
in
the
NFL.
guy that said Wilder was going to drop bombs on Fury.
Well, it's hard to do anything when you have a ruptured eardrum and
He
Fury,
did not
and Fury's
have a
camp
ruptured
drugged
eardrum.
him.
That has been disproven.
No,
His eardrum's not
you
ruptured.
said it's been disproven.
Hey,
I've yet to find this anywhere
What is
else.
EA Sports' motto? It's in the game.
in the game.
It was in the fight. Ruptured eardrum. It was part of the fight.
Well, I'm just saying.
They should have been in the
He's
ring
wore out
together
from
anyway.
carrying his outfit.
Let's go to the next topic, man. Y'all making me
What is
mad.
the next topic?
Brandon, what do you got?
All right, so in the news, when they interviewed Tua last week, he said that
Say his last name.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Something like that.
I don't know anybody who could say this kid's name.
Tua
He needs to
Tagovailoa.
change his name.
So he said that they asked him, what team would he like to play for? And like a lot of young players, he said that he would love to be a Cowboy.
Was
So
he
let's
joking?
What?
Was he joking?
No, he was serious. He said he grew up a Cowboys
Trade
fan as a
Dak.
kid.
Trade him, move up.
Yeah. So if he's healthy, that's the thing. Would you trade Dak and move up in the draft to get
Yes.
Tua?
And all this
No.
cap thing they're talking about, that's exactly I would trade. It's first off, this is a dump pass offense.
No.
You don't have to be a great quarterback to put up big numbers.
Let's hear why. Why would you not do it?
I wouldn't do it because you got a lot of quarterbacks out there. If release Dak and get Teddy Bridgewater, somebody who's played the NFL game.
But Tua could be the next.
This is the future,
Brees.
though.
Tua is good in college. What did he do against the stellar Clemson defense?
Everybody on his team was slow, Craig.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, you can do both. That's kind of the whole point. Trading
Hey.
Dak to move from the draft.
The only-
to draft
the
two, and
only-
then sign one of these guys.
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
a James
But Bridgewater's going to
Bridgewater.
command more money than
Yeah, he-
some of the other guys. So that may
I
be
just
a
don't know
little
what
harder.
assets the Cowboys have that can move them up into the top 5. I mean, Dak.
I'm all for paying
Dak-
Dak. I mean, he earned his
I just
money.
don't. Would you give a top 5 pick for Dak right now?
Of course not, but
What are they going to do?
You know.
Give their first round and Dak?
don't know. Whatever it costs to move up, I'd absolutely look into it because then you've got the tag you can slap
But here's
on
the
Amari
thing when
Cooper.
it comes to Dak and Tua. Dak is proven. Tua's never played the
He's
NFL.
proven what? He can lose the easiest division in the history of the NFL.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
it's
all
not-
he's
you
proven.
can't put it all on Dak. Who's to say Tua won't come in and get that hip blew out of place again?
I'm just saying, you replace Dak with Tua, the actual Tua. He was in college on that team last year.
but you
They're
don't
probably
know
in
if
the
that's
playoffs.
what he's going to be. It's different college to NFL.
It is. I'll give
It
you
is.
that. But, that's why Dak was drafted
Everybody
in the
runs
fourth round.
faster 40 times.
I just don't think that Dak's the answer. I don't think they think Dak's the answer.
I
Franchise,
don't
Clearly
think
they
they do.
don't.
franchise tag him twice, be looking to improve that position moving forward, and walk away. You give this guy
Yeah.
a 6-year deal at $35 million plus, you might as well just walk
But
away.
I don't understand why Dak doesn't deserve it when
I think he
Goff
just.
got it, Wentz got it. It's just where he slots in.
Because he's worse than they are,
Yeah, they
objectively.
they literally are the franchise.
Carson Wentz played good this year. This is the first year.
No,
He's played
Carson Wentz he's been in.
Nick-
he
Nick
would have
Foles.
won. He
No.
would have been the MVP of the NFL the year he got hurt.
Okay, he got hurt. He can't stay healthy.
I mean, and
What
it's
did
just
he do
a
this
violent
year?
league. He doesn't have the
So
Dallas
what did he-
Cowboys
what did he
offensive
do
line
this year?
He doesn't have the Dallas
What did he do
Cowboys
this
offensive
year?
line.
Won the division.
Won the worst division in the
Cowboys line isn't
NFL.
as
with a
good as
worse
used to
team
be.
than Dak had.
With the worst team in the NFL.
Our man. Big Cam walking in.
Uh oh.
No, yeah, I just, my opinion is that we need to move on from Dak.
I don't know that we can move on until we have something to replace him with. But yes, I would rather have Tua.
I could care
Yeah.
less. They're trash anyway.
Yeah.
At least, I mean,
I think Tua healthy is the best quarterback coming out right now. I think if he was 100% healthy, he'd be going first overall over Burrow.
so I saw where Burrow is just going to pack it up. His hands are too small. He's not playing the NFL anymore. He's giving it up.
They said the same thing about my buddy coming out of college. 17 interceptions. Oh, he's got small hands.
What's glide legs hand measurement?
19 inches.
Oh man,
Golly.
dang,
Bigger than Shaq's.
that football is like
19 inches?
like an apple.
Yeah.
So I looked that they had a list of every quarterback that had been drafted first, not first overall, but first in the first round, and the smallest hand size was 9 inches, same as Joe Burrow. But do you know who had a 9-inch hand?
Who?
Michael Vick.
Oh.
But there were several. There were like 5 of them that had 9 inches. The biggest hand was like I think Jamarcus Russell at almost 10.
I don't think
it's
that,
not. It's I don't know.
I think that just comes into play if he's playing cold weather, rainy weather, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of quarterbacks
Or if you
wearing
run the ball.
gloves nowadays.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've ever been to Ohio or not, but ain't a lot of good weather days in football season.
Well, I'm just saying.
It
Just depends on where he goes, where that'll be.
Yeah.
He may go to an
Well,
indoor
what
team,
are the
but
Bengals going to do? I mean,
What? They're going
Who
to draft
knows?
the best.
I know. What are they doing with
Yeah.
Dalton?
Oh, they're going to release
They're letting
Dalton.
him work on a
They haven't
trade, they
decided.
said, yeah.
They're still trying to decide on he and AJ Green, what's going to happen with those guys. But I think
Yeah.
they're pretty sure they're going to move away from Dalton.
Just because this is local, Jason Peters is in a contract year. And looks like with Trenton Williams moving on from the Redskins, he could end up being a Redskin. Jason Peters could. What do you think about that?
He's worth it.
I'd hate to see him in anybody else's uniform but an Eagles, even though I don't like the Eagles. I'm a big fan of his.
Maybe he'll come to the Cowboys.
Yeah, see if we can talk him into a hometown
I'm a fan of him with the
discount.
Eagles.
Oh,
but-
we ain't got no money. We need Dak to take $15 million to bring him in.
Yeah.
Let's just take it out of Dak's contract.
Let's stick him
Brandon?
on the other side. And then move Leo Collins
I'm a
back
fan
to
of
guard.
him as an Eagle, but go wherever you can get that paycheck.
Oh, I know. I mean, I hate to see Hall of Fame players having to late in their
Change
careers
teams.
having to change. But we'll see what happens. Frank, Brandon, what else you got?
That's all I got.
I don't have anything else that you guys want to talk about. I'm a baseball and golf
Oh
fellow. so-
gosh! Speaking of golf, you watch any golf?
I was watching just a little bit the other day, but I didn't even finish it.
Do you think there's ever in the history of golf been somebody more hated than Patrick Reed? They have players calling him a cheater. I mean, there's just, and then he goes out like in the week they're calling him cheaters and just wins.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's one of the best.
he's
the way
one of
to
the
do it.
most unlikable people I've ever seen the media cover. I mean, he's just not getting into his family stuff, but he's just like nobody likes this guy. And if his peers don't care for him at all, like don't even speak to him, it's amazing to me he can get sponsors like he is.
Well, I mean,
Well, that winning
win
gets
every
him
other
those
golf
sponsors.
tournament.
That's what I was
That'll
going to
do
say.
it,
The
yeah.
winning, the major. He won a
The
major. last
sponsors,
year.
like I say, he may not have to be around the sponsors that long. He's
Well, I
probably
mean, it's just
in and
bad
out.
for golf to have
Yeah.
him.
It may be somebody that they don't feel should carry the face of golf.
And is
you
it
know?
bad for golf? They've never had a villain. Maybe it's good.
I guess
They
we're
have
talking
had
about
a villain,
The Tiger was kind of the villain.
Willie Gladleg.
Willie Gladleg, boy, he done played every sport there is. Tell me about Willie Gladleg's roots. Where did he?
He's from here, Texarkana.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he grew up here in Texarkana. Then he moved over to Canada, played in the CFL when he was like 8, 9 years old,
oh wow.
and then came back to the U.S.
You play any high school ball?
Yeah, he was 6-time Texas State champ, player of the year, Gatorade player of the year.
Damn, 6 time.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, he was
That's wild.
impressive.
Playing varsity as a 12-year-old.
So
Man, varsity
he
is
redshirted in
slow.
high school.
Where'd he go to college at?
He went to North Texas, Michigan, Florida
After
State,
playing in college football?
Wyoming, Cal,
Or playing the CFL?
Florida
Huh.
State.
He was in the
Tennessee,
transfer portal
Texas,
every year.
Texas A&M, Houston.
He was in the transfer portal
Rice.
before the transfer portal.
That's right. He created
Really?
the transfer
Yeah.
portal.
Are we doing any?
One year he played 12 different colleges.
Are we doing any kind of live broadcast to see where Willie Gladleg goes on draft night?
I'm pretty sure
Okay, can we do that, Aaron?
you're going to have security because he's going to have a lot of jewelry on.
I think we should do it in here. Aaron's our producer, and he doesn't like sports. But we're going to have the draft on. Let's watch it here Thursday night. Let's see if we can get Willie Gladleg in the house for it. And if we can get Willie Gladleg here, I'll do some interviews for him, and we'll go pick by pick and get his thoughts on where he ends up going.
Good deal.
Can you make that happen?
Oh,
I
yeah,
know you're good
I'll
friends
give him
with
a
him.
call. I'll give him a call.
All right. Y'all sure y'all ain't got nothing else to cover? This is your time.
We're good, man. I
Moderators
guess
are
the only
horrible.
thing I would have is if you had to choose right now, it looks like the Lakers are going to play the Bucks for all the marbles. Who you got?
Man, I'll say I've never been a Lakers fan. I will say that. I was always like a Bulls fan, then I was a Spurs fan, but I've always been a LeBron fan. So I'm kind of like jumping around, following LeBron. I do like AD there. I just think the Lakers 7 games would beat the Bucks. But I love Giannis, though.
I was about to say, that's by far the most physically gifted basketball player I've ever seen in my entire life. And that team has the best offense and defense. The guy's playing like 28 minutes a game. They're beating people so bad, he's sitting more than Damian Collins is at Atlanta.
I want to say experience wins that series because, like everybody else, I mean, LeBron's a year younger than me, so I've watched him coming out of high school and all the hype and everything and how successful he's been. I think the Bucks win it.
I'm not,
and I don't want them to win it.
I'm not going to count the Clippers out yet.
Yeah, so I don't think the Lakers are going to make past the Clippers in the playoffs. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, the Lakers have to.
Be sure you hit a clip right there and record what he just said, so I can use it against him later.
Record that. Mark it down.
All right. Well, we ain't got nothing else to talk about, evidently. We're jabbering. So thank you for watching Game Day Review. Till next time.
We are out of here.